This is Jack Daulton. I'm at the famous Taj Mahal in Agra, India, on the banks of the Yamuna River in Uttar Pradesh state. The Taj Mahal is arguably the most famous mausoleum or tomb in the world. It was constructed in the middle of the 17th century by the 5th Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to enshrine the remains of his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died tragically in 1631 at age 39, giving birth to her 14th child. We're looking here at the tomb building proper. It is at the north end of the funerary complex, a large walled rectangular area which is oriented along a north-south axis, the entrance being through a great gateway on the south end of this rectangular area. The tomb building is a tour de force in the architecture of the arch and the dome. It is a marble-clad brick structure, octagonal in form, set on a square plinth or platform, each corner of which is anchored by a slender tripartite tower, sometimes called a minaret, although these towers did not have the same function as they would in a mosque. Of course, this octagonal structure is capped by a large onion-shaped dome, loosely onion-shaped, set upon a cylinder, raised up upon a cylinder, I should say. And the dome itself is surrounded by 4 pillared pavilions known as chhatri, which are an architectural element drawn from the architecture of Hindu India. In general, however, the architecture of the Taj Mahal is Central Asian in inspiration. The facade features large pointed arches set within rectangular frames, forming a recessed vaulted space known as an iwan. These are borrowed directly from the architecture of Muslim Central Asia, as is the onion-shaped dome, the octagonal plan, and other features as well. On either side of the tomb building proper is another structure. To the west, the direction of Mecca, is a mosque where the faithful come to pray for the souls of the dead. On the opposite side, the east side, is an identical structure which is sometimes called the jawab or echo of the mosque. Its purpose seems to have been simply to provide symmetry, for the Taj Mahal is, above all else, a masterpiece of symmetry and balance. It is appropriate that the Taj Mahal find as its architectural inspiration Central Asia, for the Mughals were a dynasty of Central Asian princes. They invaded the Indian subcontinent at the beginning of the 16th century from a base in Afghanistan. These Muslim princes had an illustrious lineage. On their father's side, they were descended from Timur, or Tamerlane as he is sometimes called, the great Turkic conqueror. On their mother's side, they were descended from Genghis Khan, the great Mongol conqueror. The tomb building proper, for which the complex is famous the world over, sits, as I said, at the north end of a rectangular complex, opposite a great gateway on the south end of this complex. The area in between is a garden. This garden symbolizes paradise, or heaven as it is described in the Quran, the holy book of Islam. In the Quran it is said that paradise awaits the faithful, and in paradise the faithful will find trees, flowers, fruits, rivers, fountains, abundance that would not have been common in the environment of Arabia, the desert environment of Arabia, the birthplace of Islam. The Taj Mahal is one of the most famous works of symbolic or conceptual architecture, for it was explicitly intended to be a model in microcosm of paradise or heaven as described in the Quran. The lawns that we see today are actually a late British colonial addition. In its original conception, these manicured lawn areas would have been filled with trees, fruit trees, and bushes and flowers, quite dense, lush vegetation. In the restoration of the Taj at the end of the 19th century, overseen by Lord Curzon, the Viceroy or Governor General of British India, these lawns, English and inspiration, were added to the Taj Mahal complex. We owe a debt of gratitude to Lord Curzon, for he made it his mission to preserve, to conserve, to restore the Taj Mahal. He said of the Taj Mahal, it was the most perfect structure in the world. And indeed it is that. I'm going to move on now, explore other aspects of the Taj Mahal on this beautiful January day in Agra, India. Thank you very much.